Done right, German Chinese will fly again at Montecito's. Meghan is kicked out of Invictus. Hello and welcome to the Princess Diana News Channel. Yesterday we talked about Meghan losing her role at the Invictus Games, which will take place this weekend and next week, and today the story has gotten a lot bigger. Meghan Markle appears to be banned from attending altogether. I mean, after this lifetime, as they say the Oprah interview. Is it any wonder that the Duke and Queen's lies over the past few months have become more horrific? But the two troubles retained power until the Queen's death, when she was allowed to do so. Now, for a narcissistic chameleon like Meghan to become a black media figure is not in anyone's best interest. I mean, who cares about Meghan Markle's publicity needs? Well, I'm glad the German organizers aren't afraid to do what needs to be done and call it off. I wonder who can tell him? I wish I could be a fly on the wall. What a wonderful job this is. While it might actually be Harry, because I think he's the one responsible for the whole thing, you know, I'm surprised that he has to capitalize on all the negative reactions right now. Speaking of bad luck, their ability to outdo them at every public event they attend is legendary. I mean, she packed the stage, won polo trophies that she didn't need to collect because she doesn't even play polo, and then she made sure she was on the side of the car that we told him ahead of time. The media is going to round up Harry, and I'm going to give you some background information on Victor. Apparently the Germans aren't really big fans of Harry, and certainly not fans of Meghan. Now, I have met many Germans in my life and I can tell you about what I saw. There are some straight shooters. They don't have time for artists like Meghan and Harry, and it's not that they don't like the royal family. No, I mean, they gave the King and Queen the warmest and most heartfelt welcome they had during their state visit to Germany last March. I know it's a stereotype, but in my predecessor's opinion, Germans like stability, like order, and therefore value the British monarchy. If we look back at German history, we see that this makes sense. I think they understood that the sudden departure of the German monarchy after World War I was not a good thing. They abolished the monarchy in favor of a republic, which didn't work very well and then led to this. Yes, you know who it is. So if you look at the rumors about the invitations in the German media, you won't find much interesting until they come from the internet. It is also a respectable side. According to German media reports, Meghan Markle was suspended from attending the closing ceremony as a result. She was supposed to film a segment with a black German man exposed for espionage, during which the network's now only spy would moderate the story of a disabled veteran and his family. I mean, although the Germans and the British had their problems too, there are still close relations between these countries. One thing I really love about all my German friends is that they are honest. They tell you it is, they don't talk, so maybe one of them can gently tell Harry what he needs to do to stop lying about his soldier days and please stop talking nonsense about his family and say your last words. Nobody wants to hear. Now Meghan can appear. Who knows, but I'm not sure. I don't think he wants to have rotten tomatoes thrown at him by the Germans, so it seems that these dishes are hitting all kinds of walls. But what's next for Invictus? And of course Meghan was planning to come. I'm sure she was staying up late to get as much attention as possible. I'm sure Meghan had it all planned out in her head. She wanted to make a perfect entrance, wear thousands and thousands of dollars worth of inappropriate designer clothes and comb her hair at least once a month. We don't know exactly what she did, but I suspect her plans were compromised. It was removed from the official plans. So what was this frustrated Dutch woman able to achieve when she had been ignored or neglected in the past? She usually comes up with another plan to get attention. It's now a perfectly normal activity for the couple as people visit local hospitals and schools, except when Meghan took them to New York and inappropriately read to her 10-year-old on a bench silly book. Then, to make matters worse, she insulted them with boxes of half-rotted vegetables. Fortunately, Germans value education very much, so they are not allowed to talk to children near the classroom. I mean, he's not properly qualified, he's not really qualified to do anything, so I can't imagine the Germans letting him anywhere. He's going to be hungry, so we'll have to see what happens. I guess maybe she doesn't show at all, which would be really nice. If he does come, the last thing they want is for Harry to be the center of attention, then Meghan treats him as his plus, which is inappropriate. There are a lot of possibilities for what could happen in the near future, and friends in the audience are sharing a lot of speculation right now, and I think you have a lot of interesting perspectives on it. So let's talk about it. Okay, let me first read this comment from 46 to you. I wonder if I pronounced your name correctly? So I'm sorry if I didn't do that. But anyway, the man said, guys, calm down. His publicist will surely clarify things. It looks like she's busy working on her next big project. As always, she would never admit that she was unpopular and unemployed. This is a good opportunity. I'm sure the reports about how great Meghan is, how busy she is, and how we can expect so many great things from her very soon, don't really matter. Then Ian Eggety said, I think it would be great if Meghan went to the Invincibles and was booed in the audience and refused to pay whatever she wanted. I was really cool with that too. Like this, I guess if she dared to show up, that might happen and they would have to pay her. Who is she asking Invictus for royalties for? Anyway, a user named Catherine said I would vote for her new story. She doesn't have kids to keep in the house, so she'll slip out the back door when you least expect it. I've seen 2 other videos of her speaking to small groups, and each time someone in the audience yelled to get off the stage. We can only hope to see that, if she shows up, Catherine, and I think there's a good chance we'll see that. Frankly, this woman has shown time and time again that she has no self-awareness. So I knew she was going to leave, and then you know what she was going to do, she was going to act shocked and confused as to why people weren't that happy to see her. Then I'm sure she'll blame it on racism. The handy chef says she needs attention. The focus shouldn't be on his greedy actions, but on the real heroes of the game. That he cannot say anything that anyone wants to hear. I don't even have anything to add to this comment. And then Allison says she shouldn't be there and Harry made a speech about her. I am a veteran and I support and appreciate all veterans. God bless you all. Thank you for your service, Allison. And you're right, no one wants to hear me now. That I also really liked Debbie's comment. I love hearing from you. Thanks for your thoughts. Such beautiful words, such devastating words, Debbie, you make me blush. And seriously, thanks for that, that was really sweet to say. I also found Margaret's comment very interesting. She says, personally, I don't think they should. Why should you add both? Did anyone else let them make each other miserable until the end of the day? Just keep them away from Britain and the royal family. Both of them are very uncomfortable. That's a really good point you make, Margaret. No one else deserves to put up with them, or at least I don't think anyone else is as bad as them. I hope so. God, what a horrible thought. I wish I had time to read all the comments on this, but I think we can all agree by now. Best case scenario, Meghan just stays away, but I suspect she won't be sticking her nose in anywhere. You know, she can't help herself. She had to force herself to do whatever Harry was doing because otherwise she wouldn't be able to focus on herself at this point. And there are cameras, there is an audience, there is a microphone. Oh, you know, it's great that this narcissist is here. She lives in a fantasy world where she is so important that she is a sociopath, so she has no conscience and she believes everyone wants to see her. During the final game, when the athletes were receiving their victory trophies, she snuck up to Harry. Now she's standing where she shouldn't be, making herself look like an idiot. As she moved, the men were a little confused to believe that she was in the picture, but in fact the picture was fake. Anyway, it was only for Netflix. The game was not a final at all and they lost it. Fortunately, the team won the actual match when the final was held the following day. Meghan Markle is only going the way she is for publicity reasons. She doesn't care why, it all depends on herself and what she can get out of it. This is a scam the world has never seen. I've said it more than once. I will repeat it. Number 1. Harry had the idea of an unbeaten US game, and it wasn't just his idea. One more thing, Harry got a lot of help from his grandfather, Prince Philip, to help him sort everything out and do financial planning. In the end, this is about people, not Harry and Meghan. I mean, people who get hurt. They lost limbs, they suffered horrific trauma. This is not a show about a fake love story about Meghan and Harry, with Meghan dressing up and walking around in such expensive jewelry, praising Harry but saying nothing about these hurting men and women. He should stay away and stop being so public, and Harry, well, maybe he should take his hat out of his purse. Maybe he will somehow stand up and act like a real man instead of Meghan's doll. She's walking around like a beaten dog, too afraid to hurt Meghan, to do the right thing, because Meghan might get mad at her and you. What do you think of this couple? Please let me know what you think in the comments below. If you find my videos useful, please don't be afraid to like and share with someone who needs them. Please click the subscribe button to visit the Princess Diana News channel. Thanks again for tuning in. Thank you for your support. Goodbye, and know that we will be back for you tomorrow.